up and clock in. Know my family been straight, we been locked in. I floated some dimes off the smoke muscle. While I'm always gon' shine off the damn hustle. It's the shit that's inside, keep my mind right. Knowing smoke, you gon' pop when the time's right. Let the boys be.
Yo, what's happening, man? What's happening? We back in here. All right, man. Let's go ahead and break this down, man. They talking about whether Todd Monken is a good move for Shedeur. You can see the hate in their eyes, man, but we ain't going to speak on it too much until we get into it. Let's go ahead and do that, though, man. Let's go ahead and hop over. What they talking about, man, on the fan?
Monken is putting together.
Shout out to 92.
All right, Joe, we had some fun at the end of the show on Friday when the Browns unleashed brand new video of Todd Monken in the building. And one of the first guys he shook hands with and embraced with was Shedeur Sanders. We did not see Dylan Gabriel in the building, and we certainly know that Deshaun Watson was halfway across the world.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Saudi, you hear me? Yeah, you know, yeah, it hurt. It really hurt. It hurt your heart to say that. It hurt your heart because you know what's coming. QB1. You know what's coming. It hurt his heart to say it. Go ahead, Daryl. My bad. Go ahead, Daryl.
I think that the Monken hire could potentially be good for Shedeur. I will say this. There's a reason the Browns put things on social media. They know.
Pause. It's a reason the Browns put things on social media. So what he's telling you without telling you is, if Shedeur wasn't going to be QB1 and they wasn't ready to build this thing around him, man, and see what's happening with this season and give him a season to show what he can do, there would be no reason for them to put that on their media. That's the first thing they post when Monken is in. Him linking up with Shedeur, showing Shedeur love, grabbing him up, telling him we was going to draft your ass in Baltimore. He telling you something, bro. Pay attention, bro. It hurt for him to say it, too.
What they are doing. So I'm not going to try and read too much into that exchange, but it was very difficult not to notice.
Starting quarterback week 1. Let's call it. Call it now.
And the fact that the clip that they put out there was, we wanted to draft you in Baltimore. That was very interesting to me. So I think it could be very good for Shedeur as far as him getting an opportunity here to be the starting quarterback. But Ken, I mean, we had these conversations late in December, and I said I would have no problem, and I felt that they absolutely should give Shedeur Sanders the opportunity to be QB1 in September. I'm not going to sit here and hand it to him. Give him the opportunity to compete for the job, a tangible opportunity, all right? And that means first-team reps during OTAs and minicamps and training camp. Give him an opportunity to be the starter. Give him a chance to win that job.
I'm not going to lie. All that sound great, but I don't think they just giving him an opportunity to win the job. The way they acting, he the day one guy. As long as nothing goes off of the train tracks, that's the day one starter.
I don't have a problem with that. Don't need to hand it to him, but I think that Todd Monken will give him that opportunity.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I mean, if he goes out there and looks terrible, then fine. I guess we got to go to Deshaun Watson or Dylan Gabriel or Steve DeBerg or whoever they were to bring it off the heap or whatever. I mean, that's fine. But why is that so hard? We got 2 clips of audio that we're going to want to play here coming up at 8:45, Daryl. And I think to a lot of us, it just seems to be like, yeah, he's young. I know that he's at the bottom of every metric. There's no way I can dance around that.
Right.
But I've definitely seen worse quarterbacks play for the Browns. And some people get upset and go, wow, you're setting a high bar there. And I go, no, I know it's a low bar, but I've seen worse. I know that there's not a great investment that they can make right now unless they did something almost unrealistic. Right. Why are there so many media members who don't get that? I'm going at the media here. Why are there so, you get it, I get it. Lima's called a hater. Lima gets it. And there seems to be so many, they just need to move on. I go, why? Why do we need to move on from him, of all people?
I mean, I'm not going to speak for other media. I can just speak from my view. I saw enough upside from him where I feel like it's worth an opportunity. Now, I realize from a statistical standpoint, he put up worse numbers than Dylan Gabriel did. But if you watch...
At the end of the season, when you're playing with the worst team, Dylan Gabriel hopped in closer to the beginning of the season after the Flacco debacle. So you got to think, man. You hopping in with 7 weeks left. You got a lot of the team hurt. You got people banged up on the offensive line. Your offensive line substitutions are depleted. Your receiving core is starting to be depleted. You got people hurt. Fannin ended up banged up at the end of the year playing through some stuff. Judkins didn't finish the season. So you got to take all those things in the account there too, though, bro.
The way Shedeur played versus the way Dylan Gabriel played advantaged Shedeur Sanders in my view. So, I again, you know, I feel like that there's something there, and he won 3 games, or the Browns, I should say, won 3 games with him as the starter. He had a chance to win a couple of others that youth and inexperience.
You had it right the first time. He won 3 games, bro. You ain't got to try and give a backhanded compliment. Oh, the Browns won 3 games with him at quarterback. You ain't got to try and retract and give a backhanded compliment, bro. You said it right. For any other quarterback in the league, you would say you won 3 games. So just keep it a stat.
Lost him, and that's okay. That's part of the process here. And so if he can show that tangible progress, learning from those specific situations, and look, Todd Monken, the great thing about him is that he's not
To start a podcast with Riverside, all you need is a concept and a way to record it.
always adapted to players, and he's not stuck in his ways as far as like an offensive system. He's always adapted to players, and he likes a player that can extend plays at the quarterback position, which that's Shedeur Sanders. So that's why I said earlier, Ken, I think that this hire could potentially be good for Shedeur. So I with the off schedule stuff and everything else.
You hear how you trying to put a sentence together now? When you got to talk about Shedeur now, it's the off schedule. Every NFL quarterback has to play off schedule. Every play is not on schedule. That's the thing about people that have never played sports or have never done anything athletic in their life. They don't understand that it doesn't go exactly how you draw it up on the chalkboard or on the whiteboard before practice. Yes, we can draw up a certain scheme, a certain play, but if we go out to run, let's say we're running a spread, look, we got 4 wide in the tailback, and we're getting into our quick game, and we got slants with speed outs. If they do that, and immediately everybody's pressed, your first receiver gets jammed on your first option, your second receiver falls down, and your left tackle gets beat, well, guess what? Now you have to extend the play. You might have to roll out of the pocket. You might have to spin out of a sack and try and make a play. Every play does not happen where you 1-2, hit your back foot, throw on time and on the money. Let's stop it, man. Cats like Mahomes, cats like Josh Allen, all these guys make plays out of schedule, off schedule, all the time. So let's not act like everything just has to be on schedule. It's just not what you want to see at the quarterback position. Guaranteed everybody else do, though.
I do believe there is something there with Shedeur. It's whether or not he's willing to listen, whether he's willing to put in the work, whether...
Why is that always a question? You've never had that. Not even with Cody Kessler did you have a question of whether he's willing to listen, whether he's willing to put in the work. Why is that? Bro, he's an NFL quarterback. Nothing in this man's history has said he's not willing to listen, he's not willing to put in the work. So you even saying that, you're so in dissension, like, bro, that's just nasty work from the Cleveland media. Shout out to 92.3 The Fan, though.
Monken and his coaching staff are willing to be patient, because there are things that Shedeur was asked to do in the last 10 months that he's never been asked to do in his football life, okay? There's accountability that Shedeur has had to deal with in the last 10 months or so that I don't think he had to deal with.
When you say that, why can't you give a specific example? You're just saying shit. Excuse me. But at this point, you just saying stuff. Stamp it. Stand 10-toe down. Name the example. The date it happened. What are you talking about?
Previously, since getting drafted. All right? The social media attention and the keyboard warriors that are in his corner, and I don't really care about that stuff. That's immaterial to winning and losing football games. Can it be a distraction? Sure, but I think it could be a distraction only if you allow it to be a distraction.
Well, that's interesting, Dale. That part is interesting because he admits that him and others that are part of that coaching staff when he was here in Cleveland, they created their own distractions. How do we know that's not going to happen this time? And what happens that first time he has to maybe either bench Shedeur and have to take the wrath from the fans and some of the outspoken former players? Like, how is that going to go down with Todd Monken, who seems to be a pretty straightforward...
The man ain't even played a snap under Monken's offense yet, and you already talking about him having to bench him? What? Are we for real, man? Like, we being serious right now. You don't want no winning team, bro. You just want to talk about a losing team. You get off on that, man. That get these guys going, man.
Tough talking guy.
Well, he has to be empowered to be able to bench Shedeur. Like, there's another dynamic to this, right? I mean, there's a very collaborative effort in that building, and sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's not good. And I have for years railed against the way they do things out there, because if the way they do things in that building was a positive, they'd win more games, okay? It's been very consistent as far as the disappointment on an annual basis. So if Todd Monken is completely empowered to run the show from a head coach's perspective, then fine. And if it becomes his decision that, hey, Shedeur's not playing well enough, we got to sit the kid down, he's just not ready, fine. That's the way it should be. There should not be people in that building telling him what to do. There should not be people in that building telling him he needs to fire a coordinator. Like, these are things that he should arrive at on his own and be responsible for on his own. That is very, very important here in this process, and hopefully that is something that he hashed out before taking this job, because, again, there are folks in that building that do influence decision-making processes.
A game in Paris. Mike Garafolo put out a list of games. That Browns Saints game is not on there,
right?
But there's a French outfit putting it out. Do we know anything about?
We don't care about the Paris game. We don't care about any of that, man. At the end of the day, you can see how they hate. You can see how they are so stuck on minute details, which in reality, we should be focused on. At this point, we got our coach. Now let's figure out who these coordinators are, and let's start talking about the O-linemen. You can see I'm already breaking down O-linemen. We're going to get into receivers and additional pieces at tailback that could potentially be added as far as late round guys. That's what y'all need to be talking about. Y'all are so stuck on Shedeur. I mean, if you could just get off Shedeur for a second, you could focus on the rest of the team and figure out how you could get better. We need linemen. We had the 31st ranked, Pro Football Focus is 31st ranked offensive line. Think about that, bro. And you worry about this man Shedeur. It's obvious they moving forward with him, man. Get over it. Suck it up. Take it like a champ on the chin. Crimson chin, bud. Take it on the chin. And go ahead and let's get some pieces, man. Y'all let me know in the comments, man, if you think Shedeur is going to be able to build with Monken and they're going to put something together in Cleveland, or we going to be worried about all the everything that don't even matter as far as what concerns Shedeur Sanders, man. Y'all let me know what's going on, bro.
Each day I wake up and clock in. Know my family been straight, we been locked in. I flow this and dimes off the smoke muscle. While I'm always gonna shine off the damn hustle. It's the shit that's inside, keep my mind right. Knowing smoke, you gon' pop when the time's right.